You're tuned in to Repco Muscle Garage, the home of New Zealand's toughest muscle cars, hot rods and street machines. Proudly brought to you by Repco, in association with Mount Shop, Maguire's and Rislone. This week, Magoo Street Rods chalks up a quarter of a century, and we raid Lee's collection of Fords and bikes in the Bay. But first, thanks to our mates at Maguire's, we're in Wainuiomata, catching up with Mr. Hayden Wilby, the man behind Fitzroy Motorsport and pilot of NUTOUT, one angry VT Commodore charged with terrorising burnout pads across Australasia.
Growing up in the area that we live in, it's very car orientated. I used to work at a gas station after school and stuff like that. You know, there'd always be these cool V8s coming in to get gas. And then there was the likes of Port Road Drags, which, you know, he's been running for years and years. So you'd always go as a kid because it was only around the corner, and just the sound of a V8, you just can't beat the sound of a V8. I don't know, I feel like growing up around here and you just progressed into cars.
And not just cars of any old origin.
All this Ford versus Holden doesn't do nothing for me. Yeah, Aussie V8s. 76 XP Falcon, kind of a street cruiser type thing. Take the kids out in the weekend. We've got 73 XA Coupe, brought off Liz and Ryan Gracie. Awesome car, always wanted a coupe. Had one when I was younger, swapped it when I was about 18 or 19 for a Triple S Bluebird. Felt like a good option at the time, maybe not so much now. So when we got the opportunity to buy one back, we definitely got stuck into it. We want to make it a bit more of a street car next year, so that's another work in progress. And then we've got the VT, which we bought back in 2017 to compete in the NZBC. I originally had a HQ, which was blown as well, but did a few skid comps in that and just realised how much damage that you actually do to the vehicles, and it just wasn't worth it on such a cool car. And at that time, the VTs were a dime a dozen and fairly cheap power. And so and then it's just evolved from then ever since.
When the VT first hit the pad in 2017, it wasn't too much more serious than a cammed Commodore, and would cop incremental upgrades as rounds went on. But it was after a successful second season of the New Zealand Burnout Championship, one that netted an invite to Burnout Masters, and with a trip to Aussie's iconic Summer Nats now on the cards, Hayden and his crew made the call to ramp things up. You see, Hayden had made the trip the year before to support his mate Rob in the Agro XY Falcon, so he knew the stakes. Nothing short of an angry blown power plant would fit the dress code. The VT's evolution hasn't stopped since.
So we destroyed our first LS1. We learned a lot from that though, and so we evolved by the time we were ready to build the second motor. This one is a L98, so 6 litre block, and we're running a forged bottom end. We've improved our fuel system, stuff like that. The L98s run the really good heads, so we've kept them. And then we've just got all the good ARP bits and pieces holding it together, steel head gaskets. We're running a BDS manifold. We've got a BDS blower, 871 blower. It's got an intercooler as well.
The 6 litre Lama Engineering built L98 gets served a healthy portion of E85 from a custom EFI setup fed by triple Aeroflow fuel pumps. A Holden T56 shifts cogs while the factory IRS is beefed up with a full spool and Showtime Customs and Fabrications 1,000 horsepower rated axles. The big gear's not there for show.
You know, when you're doing burnouts, you are going to test every aspect of that vehicle, every bit of the drivetrain, everything. You try and get your tyres off in about a minute. Well, that's 1 minute of absolute punishment on every single part of that vehicle. The cooling system, the drivetrain, the axles, the gearbox, absolutely everything. These high-level drag cars, they'll go down and do 10 passes. That might be a whole season. So what they do in a whole season, we do in one skid. I guess it's like sort of any sport when you're amongst all those people that are there for the same thing, and then you line up for that burnout. You're waiting. It's you're watching each car go out, and people are having issues, or go out there and they do a killer skid or something like that, and then it's your turn. And then the flag drops, and you just hit the accelerator, you hook the brake or whatever, and you're a zone, and you're buzzing. The adrenaline is pumping through your heart, and you fly down that entrance as fast as you can to get the big tip in, and for the next minute or so, you're just on the, you don't know, you can't hear anything else outside the car. You know, you're just like, you're in there, you know, it's just a buzz. And then you come off, you pop your tyres, whatever. That's an adrenaline rush that you just can't pay for. You know, it's hard to describe unless you've done it. You know, it's not like going around the streets and from the clutch or going sideways around a corner doing stupid stuff. You know, this is going out there and you can't describe that feeling. You know, it's awesome. You know, there's a whole bad light to, you know, modified car scene and all that kind of stuff, and we're just trying to show it in a good light. You know, good, safe, legal events.
And if he can't make every event, you can follow along at home. Hayden's Fitzroy Motorsport has earned itself quite the following on social media, posting vlogs of the various projects on the go, as well as event action. And you can find all that by typing Fitzroy Motorsport into the usual places. Be it the burnout pad, drift track, or even the drive your mates type events. If there's tyres to shred, then chances are this bloke will be right amongst it.
I can't tell you if I'll ever grow out of it. You know, when I'm old and grey, I think I'll still have cool cars. Well, as long as the government lets us, I might have an electric cool car. We'll see what happens.